I think you do need to take a stomach acid supplement.
I had these little yellow guys pop out in the toilet.
So you might have to really focus on fermenting
Okay.
things.
They're really the only main symptoms that I'm having at the moment.
I would not go anywhere near that stuff.
This was a real conversation or a consult between me and my gut health specialist, Elyse Comerford from Wellbelly Health. She is incredible at what she does. She's been doing this for a long time. She's helped people from mild things, from food intolerances, all the way up to the more serious stuff like colitis and arthritis and all that fun stuff. So she knows what she's doing and she's been very successful with her clients. The reason I'm sharing this with you is, as you know, I'm open, transparent, honest with all the things that I'm doing in my journey. I thought it'd be really cool to be a fly on the wall for you to see what actually happens in a health consult. Now, this is my second one. We've already done one longer one, which was like an hour or 90 minutes or something like that. So this is just like a quick checkup just to see where I'm at and how I'm going and kind of move me on the right track. I highly recommend working with someone, especially Elyse and her team. They're incredible. I'll link them down below so you can suss them out. Knowing that you're on the right track or the wrong track and getting the support to move forward, get unstuck, it's just really helpful. Definitely recommend everyone who has the resources and abilities to work with someone to guide you on your journey. The chat we had was amazing. She got to answer a bunch of questions that I had, and she also recommended some things that I wouldn't have picked up myself. So coaches, mentors, specialists, practitioners, they can help you see blind spots that you can't normally see yourself. And that's why I highly recommend working with great practitioners, no matter what diet protocol or thing you're trying to achieve, because they can help you shortcut things, plus also make sure that you're doing it safely. So all her details will be down below in the description. You can suss it out, but enjoy this conversation, being a fly on the wall, the consult, and see what interesting things we have a bit of a chat about.
Okay, I want an update, Rory. Tell me how you've been doing, what you're eating, where you're at, what's working, what's not.
Great question. So last we spoke, we were talking about more meat on the bone, giving enemas a crack. We were talking about the activated charcoal and the bentonite clay. So I ended up doing 30 days of enemas just for fun, just to see how that would go. And I love them so much now. Like, I wish I was doing them earlier on in the journey. Maybe 30 days was overkill, I don't know. But anyway, it was fun. Good for the content.
I think you're doing great.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Started with a bicarb one. I started because, like, that night I was starting to feel like something was rising to my head, or I felt like it was almost like I felt like a dial for a detox. And then I was like, I am not going to go through like a week of this crap. I need to just do this enema. And instantly it cleared my sinuses. My head was clearer. I felt I had the best sleep I'd had in months. Even like my sleep has improved since doing this. It was amazing. I was like, wow. I think around day 7, I had these little yellow guys pop out in the toilet. So it was like, looked almost like gallstones maybe. And it was like little yellow bits, and they were soft and they were very pronounced. And it was the only day that it happened. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Is that what they would have been?
Yeah, very likely.
What does that
which
mean?
Is awesome.
What does that mean?
Means they're clearing out of your liver. So pretty much everyone has gallstones. If they're not made of cholesterol, then they won't show up in scans. So even people come and go, oh no, but I had a scan and I don't have any gallstones. Yeah, it's really not the case because they don't always show up. So yeah, that probably was, and it means your liver's clearing them out. Everybody's got them. Everybody needs to clear the liver out of gallstones, and that just means coffee does that. It stimulates bile flow, stimulates the liver to flush out glutathione production. It's just amazing what it does. So that's what would have happened, which is great.
Oh, cool. Good to know. Yeah. At first I was worried, but then I did a little bit of research and I was like, oh, okay, no, this is cool. So there was that. I've hovered around this safe spot of mostly carnivore rather than gaps for like a while, just because I think I was just comfortable and there was just a lot going on in my life and I felt like that was manageable. But then recently I've moved back over to more meat on the bone, less stuff on the stove. Like, even if it was cooked in duck fat or ghee, it's like, there's less of that. There's more meat on the bone. I definitely feel better. And having, I've been doing the 24-hour meat stock in the fridge rather than leaving for a couple of days. That has made a huge difference. Definitely noticeable. A typical day is like, I'll have one meal that's like lamb cooked in lamb stock, or chicken stock I'll have as well. Sip that throughout the day. That's absolutely delicious. I've been into lamb chops, so I'll have like, like 600 grams of lamb chops just like right there. Like I'm really enjoying that. So it's like, but I'm easing back on that more into the meat stocks. But I've been able to introduce ghee successfully, so I'm not having any reactions whatsoever with ghee. Butter, I have been successful with that as well. So I can have butter now. At first it was reacting a bit. Now it seems to be pretty level. So the only reaction is...
You got my memo about go slower with them, Rory. Just start with small amounts.
I did.
Chris, I'm glad you got that.
Mostly. I did like a small amount of butter, and then I waited 24 hours. Nothing. Okay. Waited another 24 hours. Okay. It's not a big deal. Then a little bit, the same amount again. I didn't try and increase it.
Good
so
job.
I learned that. I did start trying... What's it called? I'm about to do probiotic yogurt. Yeah, I tried raw milk, a teaspoon. That was a dumb idea, but anyway. Yeah.
Egg yolks? Are egg yolks in?
They're doing better. So I can have I think I can have half an egg yolk now.
What would be the symptom if you had more?
Itchy head, or not headaches, but I would feel my skin would break out here. That's the main thing now, is like the skin and a little bit of tiredness. So that's what I mainly notice. But you said that also could potentially be detox.
It can be, because egg yolks are very detoxifying for the liver. So yeah, it can be that. It could also be a histamine thing if you're getting some egg white on there.
One day I did have egg white, and that's what it would have been, because a day that I had just the egg yolk, it seemed to be fine. Like a little bit slightly congested in the head. Like I noticed it came on, but then it went pretty quickly. But the day I had the white, that's when it broke out. Yeah, sauerkraut's fine. Sauerkraut juice. I tried, it's probably a bit too soon, but I just thought I'd give it a crack. It was like a little bit of the almond butter, like a tiny bit, to maybe put in like the stage 3 part with the pancakes. That I didn't feel great on that.
I wouldn't think for you at the moment with where you're at. I would not go anywhere near that stuff.
Okay.
Before you want all the meat in, you want the yogurt, the sour cream, like lots of ferments. You want to be completely on stage 1 before you would move on. Like the nut butters and stuff is stage 3.
Yeah.
So aside, like egg yolk is stage 2, but I would still be doing that right now anyway. Yeah. But there's a lot more work to do before you would go anywhere. Like vegetables would be in before the nut butters.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think it was a bit advantageous, or I was kind of curious, but it was a dumb idea. And even peanut butter, it was weird though. Like I had a tiny, even smaller amount of the peanut butter, and I was like, it's just not fulfilling. It tasted okay, but I was like, I used to smash half a jar of that in a go. It's like, what was I doing? I did try zucchini a little bit at first. That seemed to be fine, so I had a little bit more, and yeah, it just cleared me out the next day. I haven't had that since then. Pumpkin seems to be all right though, so I can do pumpkin. Yeah, okay. Pumpkin's good. So that's so far the only vegetable that plus sauerkraut.
Awesome. So that's good that you would have that. So you might have to really focus on fermenting things.
Okay.
So that might be the go at the moment, is just, focusing more on the fermenting of the vegetables, and then that's how you tolerate them. Ferment them and cook them even. It's fine to cook fermented vegetables.
Okay.
Absolutely fine. Okay. It's like, yes, it kills bacteria, but even when they're dead, it just changes them. They do good things still, just in different ways, still full of enzymes. So I eat cooked and raw fermented vegetables. So that was just all with that push in raw food, that it was all about raw fermented veg, but sauerkraut has always been cooked, like always. How are you doing symptom-wise?
Yeah, symptom-wise, I feel like I've leveled out. Like, feel like I'm getting better. Like, it's been improving, but I feel like I've plateaued. When I do have breakouts, it's here in my skin. It's mainly there. Like, I was like, okay, I just want to try a little bit of honey, That was not a good idea. I felt itchy in my joints straight away. I had bacon one night, but I forgot to check the ingredients properly on it, and I had like a bourbon extract, celery extract, and I think the way it was aged, and I had just like a flaring knee pain. So that night, and I was like, what do I do? So yeah, I had a hot bath that night and an Epsom salt bath, and it was gone. Yeah, so I've stayed away. I've figured out that there's certain cuts of meat, or where I was getting it from, that were giving me histamine reactions. So it's basically lamb and chicken is what I'm eating now, and that seemed to be working. Symptom wise, it's mainly like if I'm too advantageous or trying to introduce those things, it's only then it's, a bit of joint pain, bit of tiredness, skin breaking out here. But they're really the only main symptoms that I'm having at the moment, and a bit of tiredness, but that's more like I've just kind of been a little stressed nervous system, like parasympathetic, sympathetic, like that's fine. I don't feel like that's directly related to this unless I was eating like an aged rump, which I discovered was like aged. I was like, damn, wouldn't matter if I had like how it was cooked. I would always feel tired after that same cut, and it was just like rump versus beef mince, and I didn't feel tired. But I need to slow down, basically, and I think just focus on the stage 1. And I've also decided to just let go of the whole carnivore thing and just focus on stage 1 of gaps, because it's like not just carnivore gaps now, because I feel like I can start doing these veggies. Yeah, would you say I just need to go slower?
Which is a good step. Yeah, you need to go slow, and that is a good step. But I would be looking at, I think you do need to take a stomach acid supplement. So we've got one, I'll send you one. It's just RN Labs, like it's just a practitioner only one. That's going to help build up stomach acid. So you need that. And I would look at magnesium deficiency. So the way I like to address that is get magnesium oil and just spray it all over your body. So I'm just going to guess your body weight, and oh no, you've shared that before, haven't
70.
you? Can you tell me your body
70, weight? I think it is. I haven't checked it in like 2 months. Yeah.
You do about 15 sprays of magnesium oil all over your body once a day. So I think you need to really focus on getting your magnesium levels up. That's just crucial for anyone in any process of healing. Lots of magnesium oil, which we do happen to sell on our shop, our online store. I have an online store.
Wellbellyhealth.com.au.
Yes, that's where it's at. So yeah, magnesium oil, lots of that on your body. So that's the best way when there's digestive stuff going on to absorb your magnesium properly. And that's just one thing that I see for people that is a missing factor. Like, just get your magnesium levels up, and that makes a big difference in everything to do with how your body's detoxing and all of that. So I think you should be digesting things better by now and tolerating more vegetables. So that's why I would think build up stomach acid, start fermenting everything, and start increasing those vegetables, fermented to start off with. So with the kind of symptoms that you have, I think you should be able to have more stage 1 stuff.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I feel that too. And the pumpkin is exciting, and I cooked a lamb chop for my son in garlic, rosemary, ghee. I felt like I reacted to the garlic that was on there. I don't know if it was the garlic or it could have been the meat. It's tricky because there were so many inputs. But do you reckon like giving garlic and onion a go?
Absolutely, and they're one of the first vegetables I'll get in there. Gosh, we should talk about SIBO one day, because oh my gosh, I'll talk about that for like an hour or so. And low FODMAP diets, gosh, they're the worst. So yes, onion and garlic is good to get in soon. Onion and garlic, they feed your butyrate producing bacteria. So anyone even doing carnivore, I would say, do carnivore with onion and garlic. I just would never really want to remove them. I just think they're really good ones to have in there.
Yeah, okay.
And sometimes they will cause symptoms, but garlic is an incredibly valuable antimicrobial, antifungal, antibacterial, antiparasitic. It's very hard for any of that stuff to build any kind of resistance to it either. So it's super effective. There's studies that show it to be more effective than antibiotics in various cases. So garlic's incredible like that. So if you have dysbiosis, if you get symptoms from garlic, chances are that's why. That's for a lot of people that think that it's just like a FODMAP issue. It can just be that it's clearing out some of the bad stuff. So with any of that, with any symptoms that you're getting, you do need to keep things tolerable. So I'm a big proponent of that, not just being, heavy-handed and just headlong. Okay, well, it's a detox symptom. I'll just push on through and just deal with whatever these symptoms are. I don't agree with that because it's inflammatory. But you need to just go slowly as you need to, but bring those things in. So for some people, I'll get them to do like a slither of garlic or a slither of onion. Just gradually increase as tolerated.
Got it. Got it. Okay, yeah. So we're hanging around stage 1. We're just going to go proper full into stage 1, and do you reckon the probiotic dairies as well? Like, you reckon
Yes,
go
absolutely.
heavy in that? Yeah.
And kefir. So milk kefir is one I'd really focus on for you. It's very yeasty. Sounds yeast to me. I think there's going to be metals involved,
Yeah. Sure.
which you can address more at some point. But I would just do what you're doing at the moment. But do you like charcoal clay? The binders, they are really helpful. So using those to mop up some toxicity in your system is a good idea, because that's why Candida's there. It's feeding on that.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. That's right.
We should do a whole podcast on parasites. Oh my gosh, I love
Oh, well, I have parasites in my teeth. I saw the dentist, and they said that I've got parasites in here. So they've given me some antibiotics to start to take, which I'm like, I just don't want to do that. You know?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I
So
feel
milk
that'd
kefir. So start on the milk kefir.
Okay.
And have a big gulp of it right before you go to bed, and swish it around your mouth.
Okay.
And also garlic. Start getting that garlic tolerated, pumping that garlic, and then that's what you want in your mouth is the garlic. So yeah, oh my gosh, we should talk about parasites, because I can talk about that for a long time, but it's the ecosystem, it's what's going on that invites parasites in. Our relationship with parasites is an intelligent one, just like everything the human body does. It's not a matter of just going and killing them. That isn't the answer. It's an intelligent relationship, and you've got to work with it. So parasites are being invited in because there's toxicity and inflammation that's being eaten up. And so we've got to work with what the body's trying to do. The body's inviting them in to clean up toxicity. In order to work with that, we help it clean up the toxicity. So that's how you approach parasites. And so I'll have clients who we work on the parasite side of things with, and we're not doing anything anti-parasitic. They're not taking herbs. They're not doing anything like that. They're just doing GAPs. We're just reducing inflammation. We're soaking up toxins. And they are just shitting out parasites. Like worms, thousands of them are just coming out. So you do not need to do that. Like, it's not this kill, which even natural medicine is treating it like that. That is not at all respecting the intelligent relationship that is going on in this ecosystem. Like, we need to actually remove their food, which is inflammation and toxicity.
That sounds cool. I'm definitely down for that. Is like store-bought organic kefir fine, or is that homemade stuff? I got to make it at home.
You've got to make it.
Yeah, cool. I know you've got stuff on your Instagram that shows you how to make that those things, right?
Yeah, not the milk kefir, but maybe I can add that to another YouTube video.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'll be doable. I was considering getting a yogurt maker. Do you think that's worthwhile to do this?
Yeah, it just depends what you already have. Do you have a dehydrator?
No.
No. Does your oven go below 50 degrees? No.
What would be the best? Would it be best to get a dehydrator instead of
it depends what you want to get. But yogurt maker's fine. I do mine. I just have like this Shuttle Chef thing, which is like a thermos branded. It's for cooking, camping.
Yeah.
So I do my yogurt in that. Other people who, if they don't want to buy a yogurt maker, I just say just put it in an esky with a hot water bottle, but a towel in between, so the hot water bottle's not touching it because it'd be too hot. That's a really easy way to do it. Or just get the yogurt maker if you're happy to get the yogurt maker. Okay. They'll do nice ones.
Great. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to get onto that, and starting with raw milk ideally, and then using like a starter from like a yogurt. Yeah.
So I use Bacillus bulgaricus starter. I really need to just stock that, because every time I mention it, oh my god, so many people go and buy that. And I just constantly get messages like, I got the starter, like people sending me the yogurt pictures, and I'm like, I really need to stock that or do my own yogurt starter, because far out, so many people go and buy that, which is great for that business. I'm sure they're...
Well, yeah, look, I'm sure a lot of people listening to this will probably like watching it would just go and do that as well. You definitely need your own, for sure. Yeah. Okay. That's sick. I'm really excited about the dairy. Like I'm really excited about that, because I feel like that's just going to take things to another level. Do you reckon just stay away from cooking even like mince and everything, and just go meat on bone, just go full intro phase?
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I can do that. I've just gotten lazy into the carnivore space, because it's been all right. Like, I haven't degressed, but I just haven't felt like I should be a lot further down the track, and I feel like if I would have done the gaps things properly, but at least I'm further along than I was like 5 months ago. But
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you've done great. And whatever the pathway is and the carnivore is, and I find it is an easy pathway because it's pretty straightforward. Like, when it comes to knowing what you can and can't eat, it's pretty straightforward. There's not really much grey area there. So I find for someone to just go, right, I need to do something and just jump on that, I think it's pretty easy, user-friendly, like in that instance. And then they can kind of figure out how to navigate it from there, because for some people, overwhelm is the biggest issue.
well, that's exactly the reason that I just stayed on just eating lamb chops fried in duck fat or ghee and putting a bit of butter on it for like a week or two. It's because it was like I had so much going in my life, and adding anything else new in just seemed like too much. But then it's like, once you feel confident and then have the time or mental space, or that kind of like, all right, I'm sick of plateauing, then I think that kind of moment kicks in. So it's definitely the best thing I've done, and I'm really glad that I've done it. And yeah, I'm ready to get like real serious about it as well. And I'm like, man, I just want to go and take some charcoal, do an enema, do some clay, have some probiotics. I'm just, it gets me excited.
That sounds like how I'd spend my last 24 hours.
Just do an enema.
Yeah, enemas, all the things.
With your family gathered around.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate
That's
that.
okay. Pleasure.
I hope this has been of value to you. It's really important for me to be as transparent as possible on my journey, because I feel like through my transparency and vulnerability, I can help a lot of people on their journey. So if you enjoyed this, feel free to give it a like, subscribe if you're not already, leave a comment or not. Goodbye.